Hello and welcome to Comic Reviews and Acts. This is Sean speaking, and today we're going to have a look at and review Iron Man issue number 9. Now, this issue starts off straight following on, not straight away from the last one, starts off a bit later, because this is a whole new story arc now. Well, not whole new, but it's the next range. It does follow on though. I mean, this next story arc is going to be called The Secret Origin of Tony Stark, and I was impressed when I read it. But yeah, let's go straight on. Start on with the cover. And as you see there, you've got Baby Iron Man, which I find is, I won't say adorable because I'm a guy, but it's nice. It's nice. I do like that cover. But this time, the first thing I noticed was Eaglesham. There, it's one man doing both the inking and penciling. At last, one man in charge of it both. And you can tell straight away, the artwork is just better, leaving one guy in charge of it both. I mean, I could have thought of a better concept, but still, the way it was done is just a lot better. One guy in charge of it both is definitely the way to go. But let's go straight into the comic. So it follows straight on from last time. Follows straight on, and it starts off with Tony talking to Peter Quill, Star-Lord, going on about how warning him basically, and Tony saying, I can do this on my own, and he needs to make his own mistakes. And he goes off, and you can quite clearly tell he's in a rough area, and he meets up with somebody, and it turns out it's the big 30-foot robot they had to fight in the Gladiators arena. This time though, it obviously looks better because he's got his upgrades and everything like that he didn't use in the arena. But yeah, so Tony meets up with him and he asks him, have you got my money? So Tony says, of course I've got your money. And who's after? He's after 451. He's obviously getting a bounty hunter to hunt the bounty. And he tells him what he'd done. I committed mass genocide. So after that, Tony then get in his ship and go and find them. And he asks, what is the Voldy? And the Voldy is kind of like, it's a cloaking device. So Tony says, how are we going to find it? And won't we get caught? And Tony goes on about how the ship doesn't look like much, and is it a sort of, this don't look like much kid thing, Star Wars reference there. And he goes on about how it may be a big ship and everything, but you're not going to beat this ship can get by anything. And he goes, where'd you get that from? Probably don't ask questions. So yeah, he's not exactly a nice guy, this guy. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice there? So they track down this Badoon ship that's got no signs of life to where 451 possibly is, because they follow his trail, his stealth trail. And so they go into the ship, and inside is literally just a bunch of dead bodies when they find their way inside. All committed by mass genocide. Or not genocide, but they've all committed suicide. They've shot themselves. No one's come in and killed them. They've all committed suicide. So obviously 451 has some persuasive techniques there. So Tony and the robot make their way through. And this is a case of, you're a 30-foot robot. Why are you so stealthy? It's like, there's always a bigger bot. Yeah, another Star Wars reference there. There's always a bigger fish. Always. Anyway, I won't go into that. So 451's coming up, and Tony is about to attack when 451 says, there you are, and pays the bounty hunter. And then 451 actually has control over Pepper in the suit and forces Tony into this room. Now 451 doesn't actually want to do anything. He doesn't seem like your typical bad guy of more I want to just take over the world. He actually knows a lot about what he's doing. Like, Tony's really angry at him, saying, you committed genocide, how can you make jokes, and how many died, and he gives the accurate figure there. He's not crazy, he knows what he's doing. And so he sits him down and he has a look at Tony. I mean, this just sounds a bit off topic. When I was reading, I really did like this, how around the corners of the edges you've got all this chip here, this kind of like computer processing, motherboard designing. I thought that was a really nice touch. I really did like that. But yeah, anyway, backwards. Anyway, 451 forces him to sit down and see this, and Tony says, "This is all part of a plan, yeah? This is all part of a plan." And 451's like, "You have to show this, otherwise you won't believe it." And then it's realised Howard comes up on this old film, Howard Stark, Tony's dad, and he goes, "You may want to drink because, well, there's a lot to tell you. There's a lot to tell you." 451 is stood next to Howard Stark. And 451 just ends with 451 saying, "Not a ridiculous plan, just a long one." So this has obviously been going on for some time. I mean, this issue, I really enjoyed it. The story arc was good. It was genuinely a bit of a surprise. It was genuinely a surprise to read that at the end. The artwork is far superior now that they've got one guy in charge of it both. And it was just an overall really enjoyable comic. I'm looking forward to reading this origin of Tony Stark. I really am. I want to see what's going to happen. I really do. Now, in this issue, to sum up as a summary, I don't know, I suppose the artwork was very good. It was actually really good. Much better now they've got one guy in charge of both penciling and inking. It's just an artist now, and kudos to him. The story arc I've really enjoyed. It left it waiting. I want to read more. The Iron Man comics are definitely improving now. And I want it to be more popular. I want people to get out there and read it. So yeah, I'm going to give this comic now a good 8.5 out of 10. And I really hope people read them. I really do. And that's it. And I shall see you all next time for the next review. And if all you guys out there want to be part of the CRAA-Nation, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and check us out on the Facebook. And we shall see you all next time. It's Taff now from Comic Reviews and Acts.